Hey, it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel, To The Witchy Reader. So today I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be reading a snippet from the Vampire's Creation. I knew what snippet wanted to read, so, because I read a snippet for the Realm of Monsters not long ago, so I kind of want to do this for the Vampire's Creation now. It's a lot shorter than I thought, so I was debating on reading a snippet for, one of my novellas or saving that for another one. It'll depend once I finish the snippet and see like how I feel. But yeah, so I am going to read a snippet from Vampire's Creation, which is book 2 in the Realm Monsters trilogy. And I do not have a physical copy of this book yet, so I will be reading it from my phone. I have Word on my phone. I don't write on my phone, I write on my laptop, but I have Word on my phone so that I can screenshot snippets and share them for little sneak peeks. Yeah. So I have to get to it. I already have it up. I just have to get it to my phone. Okay. Hey, took me out, so now I have to get back to it. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to be reading the scene when you first meet Rain. They are a character I've mentioned a lot on Twitter and my Facebook group because I absolutely love writing them. They were originally only going to be in 2 chapters of Vampire's Creation, just kind of tell them what they need, help them with what they need because they're, spoiler alert, Jeremy was kidnapped at the end of Realm Monster, so they needed help to track him, but they needed someone with witchcraft, and Isabella, and the only people they know with witchcraft is Jeremy and Isabella. Isabella's in a coma, which is why they were back in the monster realm trying to get more medicine for her. Um, and then just to reply, and then Jeremy got kidnapped. So now they are on their, so they're about to meet Rain, and they are an interesting character, and I've actually absolutely loved them. They have become one of my favorite characters to write, and I am and they became a quick favorite because next thing I knew after writing the second chapter that they were in was I ended up right having Rain ask them if they can come along because Jeremy's their friend too and they want help, and I was like, I was not expecting that, but you know, Rain became a favorite of mine, and I hope they become a fan favorite of other readers because I love their character, their sass and their sarcasm and their fierceness and their loyalty and kindness, and I just love them, and I'm so excited for readers to read them. So yeah, this is chapter 4. It's called Banshee Boulevard. Um, Josiah looked at the banshees and the place he once called home. A lot of memories here. He spent half of his life here. Sighing, he motioned for Roxanne and Athena to follow him. A large guy walked over, eyeing the 3 outcasts. Josiah. Dee. What brings you by? Dee asked. And why bring a werewolf and whatever the broad is? Athena slowly craned her neck and looked up at him. Her lips were pursed, her gray eyes narrowed as they shined. She hardly moved. You couldn't even see her chest rising and falling, as if she was holding her breath. She didn't utter a word, and she didn't need to. She was intimidating enough as she gripped her weapon tighter, just glaring at him. He shrank back and walked away in a huff. Josiah laughed as they continued walking. I've got to say, I'm impressed, Josiah commented. No one has ever been able to intimidate Dee with words, let alone staring him down. Athena didn't reply. Why do you call him Dee? Roxanne asked. No one knows his real name, Josiah replied. He's just been called Dee for as long as any of us can remember. Just take us to the friend of yours, Athena finally spoke. Small talk is pointless and gets us nowhere. For a little insider information, Josiah, who was introduced at the end of last chapter and is a close friend of Rain, he is a hybrid, a half banshee, half merman. She's loads of fun, Josiah murmured. Roxanne tried not to laugh. You have no idea. Josiah led the girls far into Banshee Boulevard. They finally stopped outside an ancient-looking store. At the top, in block letters, said Rain's Jewelry. It was small and had an antique feel to it. There were loads of shelves. They walked inside, a bell dinging at their entrance. They walked up to the counter as a person with short silver hair walked out. Half of their hair was shaved, and the other half was no longer than their earlobe. The banshee had on a sweater and jeans. Josiah smiled. Rain. Josiah, what brings you by? Rain asked. What present for your present for the husband? Not this time, Josiah replied. We actually need your help. Rain nodded. Sure, anything for my favorite hybrid. Josiah laughed. Rain, this is Roxanne and Athena. This is Rain. They are smart and can help. We don't need a banshee, Athena told him. We need a witch. And they know a witch, Josiah insisted. Josiah, Rain exclaimed in a hushed whisper. Secret! I know, and I'm sorry, Rain, but this is important. It's life or death. Rain sighed. What do you need? Jeremy has been kidnapped. We don't know by who, but we I can't speak today. Okay. Jeremy has been kidnapped. We don't know by who, but we know they have power. You need to find him? Yes. A locator spell? Yes. Rain bit their lip, contemplating the request. They gave a final sigh, motioning for them to follow them in the back room. Roxanne took a look around. It looked like a normal back room of a store. Nothing special. So why all secretive? Rain walked towards a bookshelf and pulled a book. Then the wall moved, revealing a secret room. Roxanne's eyes widened as she grinned. She always wanted to enter a secret room like this that you saw on TV. Once inside, Rain took everything in. It looked like a secret witch's lair. It had a cauldron in the center, a table for potions, a shelf for spell books, a looking glass at the end. This room had everything a witch needs. Rain put on a black robe, tying it under their neck, and put the hood up. They then sat in a chair by the cauldron. Where's this witch that can help? Athena asked. I'm not a witch, Rain replied, but I'm the last living banshee that can use witchcraft. The next chapter is it goes back to Callista, but the chapter after that, since the characters split up, is like one character is the Callista and the people they're with, then the next chapter is Roxanne and the people she's with. So, yeah. And then so the chapter after the next is when you learn about how benches were created and Rain's backstory, and you learn about how they can use witchcraft when only witches and warlocks and wizards are supposed to be able to use witchcraft. But I won't get into that because that's a long chapter and very spoilery. But yeah, so that was a quick chapter. Um, so yeah, but how did you guys like Rain from what you saw? That was like the very very sneak peek because that's like the only thing they're in the chapter. It's very short and it's just a quick introduction before you see them giving their backstory and then helping them find Josiah. And you see more of Rain later on, and you see how their struggle with witchcraft, and you get more into why it's a secret that they can use witchcraft. Um, no one knows their backstory except for Cleesta, because Cleesta knows Rain from the past. Um, Rain will be one of the three main characters in the prequel trilogy I have planned. Um, and slight spoiler for what I have planned for the prequel. In the first book, you actually see the backstory that Rain mentions happening in present time. So you really get to see Cleesa and Marissa save Rain from everything that happens in the backstory they mention, and then it kind of goes on from there. And so yeah. Since that chapter was so short, I decided to do one more chapter, another one that's really not just a chapter that Rain is in, but one that Rain is a huge part of. Not the second chapter Rain is in where they tell their backstory, but one that's very important for Rain's character despite them just being introduced. Um, it's chapter 14. It's called Creating a Door, and in this chapter, they found where Jeremy's being held, but they have to find a way in because there's no magical way in because of the magical protection. But this is the only magical way in. This is the only way at all. But it's a very not even every witch and warlock can do this because it's very high tech, very hard to perform for even the most talented witches and warlocks. And Rain, despite being able to do pretty much anything that witchcraft can do, this is the one thing they've never been succeeded. It's never succeeded at. But they are the only person that can do it with the only person that can do witchcraft. So now they have to at least try. It's a great chapter. Um, Probably one of my favorites in the first half of the book at least. Okay, let's see. Rain was very talented. They were usually pretty confident in their abilities. They've been alive for so long, and despite keeping their origins secret, they are very proud of being the last living banshee from the original creation. But even the most talented people have their drawbacks. As much as Rain loved using witchcraft, the one thing they could never accomplish was creating a door out of nothing. It was a lot harder than It was a lot harder magic than it seemed. I can't. You can, Josiah insisted. Why can't you? Roxanne asked. I've never been able to, Rain replied. And all of this pressure now, it is highly unlikely that I shall succeed. Look, Rain, you remain to be the oldest and most powerful banshee, Josiah told them. You were created out of magic. There is no spell that you cannot do, nor is there not an ability you do not have. Rain looked up and met his eyes. If anyone can do this, it's you. Rain noted how sincere he was. He truly believed the words that came out of his mouth. They took a deep breath and slowly nodded. They noticed everyone's eyes on them as they made their way towards the building, but tried to ignore it. Then, though they have never done it, they have tried multiple times. Rain knows how it's done. Now it's only about having the power to do it. Rain put their hand on the wall and closed their eyes, taking in a few deep breaths. They concentrated as they mumbled some words. No one could hear the words that slipped past their lips. Mark my words, feel my power. Heard it all to form this door. Upon this hour, crave for my magic before it's late. Let it become mystic, Rain chanted. Mark my words, feel my power. Heard it all to form this door. Upon this hour, crave from my magic. Before it's late, let it become mystic. They chanted the same words over and over. Their aura was shining brightly as magic exited their fingertips. A small light began shining on the bottom of the wall. It started to rise up the wall, creating a large line of pure light. Rain was struggling harder to it was taking out every bit of energy they had. They breathed heavily as sweat formed on their brow. Their aura dimmed. They looked like they were about to collapse. They're getting weaker, Josiah commented. We need to stop this. Athena stopped him by putting her sword in front of him. We can't. They could get hurt, Josiah told her, or killed. Seriously? Roxanne asked. If their aura dims out completely, Josiah replied, then yeah, Rain will die. Aura? Everyone has an aura, Josiah explained. Their life force. It's usually invisible unless they attempt something like this or if two monster spirits were to connect in the subconscious mind. This is war, Athena insisted. War has casualties. You may be willing to take that risk, Josiah commented, but I'm not. Just then they heard hoofs coming towards them. The three of them turned to see Eric galloping towards them. He skidded to a halt in front of them as a bat that was flying next to them transformed back into Frederick. What are you guys doing here? Roxanne asked. It's a long story, Eric replied. Athena walked over and gave her husband a quick kiss. Roxanne looked back toward Rain. Their aura had dimmed even more so. It looked like just standing upright and breathing was taking a lot out of them. Roxanne knew this was the only way, but also knew Rain shouldn't have to die. And if Rain died before the spell was complete, they'd be back at square one anyways. I have to stop them, Josiah insisted. Before Athena could say anything, Roxanne spoke up. Wait. Josiah turned to face her. What? Maybe there was a way to save their life without stopping the spell, Roxanne suggested. What are you talking about? Josiah asked. You said it an aura is someone's life force, Roxanne replied, right? Josiah nodded. So basically it's pure energy. Josiah shrugged. I suppose you could put it like that. Can we give them some of our aura strength to fill up theirs? Roxanne asked. Supercharge her aura? Is that something we can do? I've heard of that being done, but I've never attempted it or even seen it, Josiah replied. I wouldn't even know what to do. All you have to do is make skin-to-skin contact, Athena explained. Hundreds of people can join. For example, if Josiah makes contact with Rain, Roxanne makes contact with Josiah, and so on. Rain is weak enough to just pull energy out of your aura automatically. It's really simple. Everyone looked at her. What? I've done it before. Josiah walked over to Rain and grabbed their hand, squeezing it in support. They already started looking stronger. Their breathing was steadier. Roxanne walked over and took Josiah's hand. Eric and Frederick walked over to do the same. Athena sheathed her sword and took her husband's hand. Once she made contact, of their auras shined so bright they looked like shooting stars. Rain breathed in deeply, their eyes shining the same color as their aura. The light on the wall turned and turned again, until it was back at the bottom of the wall. It looked like someone had drawn the outline of a door. The light glowed even more bright and then blasted everyone away. Rain opened their eyes. It took a minute for everything to come into focus, but they soon realized that Josiah was leaning over them. He appeared worried, but soon his face changed to relief. Holding out his hand, Rain took it and he helped them up. What happened? Rain asked, rubbing their head. You created a door, Roxanne replied with a soft smile. With a little help, Athena added, her expression as stern as ever. Rain's eyes left them to the left them to the door that wasn't there a minute ago. It wasn't a physical door, it looked like a wall, but it swung open like a door. Rain was in awe of themselves. They finally created a door out of nothing but magic. We should get going before it closes, Athena spoke up. Who knows how long it'll be like this? One by one, they all stepped through the newly created door, once aside and turned back into a normal wall. They all looked forward. There was no going back now. So that's a little insight to Rain's character for those of you that have not yet met them or who have not read Vampire's Creation. Um, I hope you liked the little insight to Rain that you got because I love Rain, and I really hope readers do, and I really think readers will because Rain is just awesome. So yeah, um, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you would like if you liked what you heard. Definitely check out this series if you want. I would love if you did, and I hope you enjoy it. And definitely let me know if you guys want me to read a snippet from one of the novellas. I would love to do that as well. Maybe I'll read a chapter from each of the novellas so far, the two published and the one that I have written but not yet published. So let me know, and I'll definitely think about reading something from one of my novellas, or maybe all my novellas. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.